So those are kind of like your green flags. What are some red flags? You have some icks. What's
I don't like lustful men.
Lustful men.
Nope.
Horn dogs.
Horn dogs. And it's not because like I know that like you're gonna go through that phase as a man. It's just normal, you know, to get out of your system. I've been through that phase as a woman. But it's more about discipline and also knowing the value of monogamy. I think knowing the value of monogamy and, you know, you can say whatever you want, but having sex with somebody as a man or a woman who loves you is going to be better than with a random person.
Great point.
And if you can't acknowledge that, you don't understand yourself. And you're looking for something in all of these women that you're with that you haven't found inside of yourself. And this is a huge problem with men these days. And I would say it's the number one thing I look for in a man. Because there's always going to be somebody who's hotter. There's always going to be, for me and for him. But it's more about, like, sex is, for me, is about connecting. And if you don't know the value in that, you don't understand the value of connection, and you're just not for me.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's not for me.
And that's just adding value to it. Like, you know, I could do a podcast with everybody. And don't get me wrong, I do. But, you know, I have to pick and choose. I literally can. And it's, at the end of the day, that leads to more value to the podcast. I get to spend my time doing my research, figuring out what type of conversation I want to have with the person, and go on
investing. And I think the times where I was, you know, I'm not really like promiscuous per se, but the times where I was the most promiscuous was when I was the most unhappy and looking for something that I hadn't found inside of myself, because I've had a hard life. So, but the times where I was the most like that, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I regret that. You know, I was a very late bloomer. I needed to have some fun. But the times where I was the most promiscuous was when I was the most unhappy with myself. And so if I find a man that's super promiscuous, it just tells me he doesn't respect himself. And modern culture will tell you the opposite, this whole Andrew Tate shit. But it's a lie. And one thing about my dad, he was very loyal. And so I grew up thinking that all men were that way. He would never have ran around with my mom. And they ended up getting divorced, but I grew up valuing loyalty. And so that's a really, really, really big thing for me.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Huge gift. That's
and
awesome.
What's crazy is the more loyal the guy is, the more I trust him. So if like you're super loyal, yeah, go to the strip club. Like enjoy whatever's going on at the strip club. At that point,
that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
They're not going to want to go to the strip club at that point. Once you let them, they don't want to.
That's crazy. That's true too. Facts.
Yeah.
Give it to them.
Let them go. They're going to be thinking about your tits the whole time they're there.
It goes to the trust thing. Exactly. It goes just to that.
Yeah.
And it's like, you shouldn't care. You shouldn't be tripping. And that's why I kind of wanted to dig into like the tits thing earlier. Because it's like, literally, my homeboy, I was telling you yesterday about the club and things. Like, bro, you want to have a bad bitch. You want to have a girl that everybody's looking at the club. If not, go get with an ugly bitch. You're not going to care what she's doing. You're not going to care if she's shaking ass. Like, that's part of the problem, dude. So, what is there a line between trolling and comedy?
For me, no.
It's all the same.
For me, no. You know who the biggest troll ever is? Is our president.
But he's not a comedian.
I would argue that he is. I would argue that he is. And I think
he's funny, but he's not a comedian. That's what I'm saying. Back to what I said earlier, full circle moment about Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is fucking hilarious. One of the funniest comedic actors of all time. He's not a fucking comedian. I'm sorry.
Comedic actor, not a stand-up.
Right. This guy's a comedic president, and he's not a stand-up, you know? Right. So.
Yeah. I don't know.